last week we talked about the dishonesty of the employee and the insurance we can use to the insurance that can provide cover for that, which we said it is a fidelity guarantee insurance or fidelity bond insurance. So last week we were able to look at how even if there was a connivance in your office and it was traced that your employee was the one, your underwriter will indemnify you. Not that the employee will go scot-free anyway. I mean, the investigation and everything is the consequence. The employee will also face its consequence. But the beauty of it is that at least your own money will be recovered on time. The insurance will step in to provide your money that is being stolen for you once you put such cover in place. So today we'll be discussing another form of business insurance. And okay, and so I have it as how to recover your goods after a loss. Actually, when your goods is in transit, so we'll be talking about goods in transit. So I have it that in the course of business operation, there is no doubt you have cost to move your goods. If you are into, even if you are into manufacturing, you have some raw material you want to move, maybe from the supplier to your factory, or if you are into goods, if you are selling retail stores, so many things that you are in course of business operation, you always have cost to move goods from one place to another. So if you as a business owner or as an organization, like you have to move your loads of, let's say for example, like maybe you are selling like a cement. You are selling something of value that you have to move it from one place to another. So if the goods happen to get lost, maybe there is accident and there is a loss as a result of accident, or your goods is being stolen while in transit, there's another form of insurance that will cater for that. So that doesn't have to send you to your early grave as a business owner, or that doesn't have to force you out of business, if you have put all these things in place. So the knowledge of insurance is very, very important. The knowledge of insurance relating to our business is very, very vital. So this evening we'll be talking about goods in transit, and let's look at what it covers. It provides cover for the loss of goods or damage to goods through accidents, fire, theft, overturning, or collision in the course of moving goods from one place to another, either by road, air, sea, or rail. Actually, it interests us that the genesis of insurance started from this goods in transit, from the marine. That is why we have marine insurance and all that. Some of the laws some of the insurance law were derived from the marine insurance, because in the early days, those merchants that have to move their goods on the high sea, they realized that in the course of conveying the goods on the sea, maybe it is overturned and it's got into the sea, or the pirate, the theft on the road. So this decided that was the genesis of insurance. So those merchants, they come together, they say, how can we salvage? They realized that there was a risk to be salvaged, to be catered to, to be looked into. So that was the genesis of insurance, marine insurance. That's why when we talk about laws, some of our laws in insurance is gotten from the marine insurance. So the goods in transit, it can be in the air, when your goods are being moved in the air, in the sea, in the rail, or by road. So that is what we want to look at this evening. So goods in transit. So it provides cover for the loss. When you're moving your goods from one place to another, when it is stolen, your good insurance, your good in transit, we call it GIT for short. Your good in transit insurance, you cater for it. When there is accident and the good is destroyed or damaged, your good in transit insurance will speak for it. Or if there is a fire, maybe the vehicle you are using to carry the goods got fire and there is a loss. Once there is a loss, once the goods are being moved from one place to another, whatever happens to it, your GIT, good in transit insurance, will speak to that. So let us look at the standard policy cover. It provides loss for goods in the course of transporting the goods from one place to another. So once the goods you have left, maybe you have loaded the goods from the warehouse, maybe your customer has ordered for maybe 2 trailers of, let me just, okay, what readily comes to my mind? Let's say cement. That's just what just readily comes to my mind. Now, your customer has ordered for 2 trailer loads of cement. So you are moving it from your factory to your customer's place. It could be within okay, maybe within Lagos, maybe you are moving from Lagos to Ibadan, for example, and there is maybe the vehicle, the truck you use to carry it, maybe there was an accident and the whole load of cement, just overturned and the whole place was, I'm sure some of us would have witnessed such things, that on the road you see truck carrying goods, and let even say if it is let's say editable goods, maybe something that you would have witnessed it at one time or the other. You see people, trying to get away with so many things. Lot of, there can be sabotage, there can be, once there is a loss like that, yes, you won't just fold your hand that because you have insured it. Definitely, I always told us that you must always act as if you are uninsured. So if there is a loss like that, maybe the whole trailer has overturned and the thing is scattered, you would still try and salvage it. You try and see how you can recover. But those ones that are damaged, that are destroyed, if you have put good in transit insurance in place, you will be compensated. Your good in transit insurance will speak to that. Once it is moving from one place to another, that's what we call it when that good is in transit. Now, during loading and offloading of goods, your GIT, good in transit, also cover that. How do I mean? Maybe in the course of loading, let's say maybe in the course of loading, you have already started loading, and maybe there's a fire and it destroyed your goods. While loading it, there's a fire and the good is destroyed. Your good in transit insurance will speak to that. And even if you have gotten to your destination, you are offloading, and there is a form of loss too, your good in transit insurance will speak to that. I hope we can all relate with that. Now, temporary storage in the course of transit. How do I mean? Maybe you are taking your goods from Lagos to Kaduna, and maybe you took off in the morning and you could not get to Kaduna in the same day. I'm citing an example. Maybe when you now got to, let's say you got to Lokoja, you realize that, oh, it is late. So, because you would have arranged that, okay, you now put it there, okay, you know that you will stop over in Lokoja, so you now kept the good in a storage yard. Maybe you have made the provision for where to put your good, that in case you could not get to your destination, you have arranged for a place where you will put them. So why in the course of that storage, it's a temporary form, because that's not your destination. So maybe overnight you have stored the goods there, and overnight maybe there was a fire and the goods were destroyed as a result of fire, or the storage was bubbled into, and the goods were being carted away. Your good in transit insurance will speak to that. So Temporary storage in the course of transit, your good in transit insurance speak to that. The accidental damage to goods while in transit, I've explained that maybe if there's accident, and as a result of accident, maybe there's collision and overturning, and the whole goods just turned and littered the whole place, and the thing got spoiled. Your good in transit will speak to that. So those are what's your good in transit insurance. Those are what it speaks to. It must be that the good is being moved from one place to another. So in the course of that movement, whatever happens to it, the good in transit insurance will speak to that. I hope we can relate with that. Now let's look at the underwriting factors, or what we call underwriting consideration. There are some underwriting consideration, when you want to effect your good in transit cover. You won't say, just like I said, you won't say because you want to do insurance, you can just be careless with it. No, insurance does not cover carelessness. Insurance only cover fortuitous events. What we do not envisage that will happen, then it happens. So you must ensure the state of the vehicle. Your state of the vehicle, as in your vehicle. Normally, if you want to travel, you will not want to put a vehicle that is not good on the road. No sane person does that. So it's also an underwriting factor in your GIT, in your good in transit, that you ensure that your vehicle is in good condition. The vehicle that will carry the load is in good condition. Then we look at the moral hazard. Who is the driver that will be driving the car? Is it the driver that will be heavily drunk? Moral hazard generally is a factor in insurance. Moral hazard. We look at moral hazard. What's the moral hazard of the driver? What's the attitude of the driver that is going to drive? So you must ensure that all these things are in place. Then transit limits. You must know. We always want to know the transit limit. To guard the liability of the underwriter. You provide the transit limits. That where are you going to? Your geographical description, the transit limit. That or the frequency of the transit. That in a month I'll be moving my goods maybe twice a month or 3 times. You will provide all those. Those are underwriting considerations in goods in transit. That how many times you want to be loading your truck? Is it every day? Is it every week? How many trucks do you want to be loading? All those things you provide. Then estimated annual carriage. What is the value? What is the value of the goods you want to be loading? Is it maybe 100 million per load? Every time you are moving your truck, what's the worth of it? So, and you now use it to multiply. If you know that maybe every month the carriage is maybe, let's say 100 million, then you multiply. You know that now in the year the estimate you want to be load, your value is maybe 120 million. No, you would have given all those things are underwriting consideration. They are underwriting factors in good in transit, so that when there's a loss, the underwriter will be able to know what the liability, able to know what his liability is. Then loading and packaging of the goods. Then how are you packaging your goods? Do you just leave them careless, or is it going to be well packaged, or will it just be shabbily packaged? No, the presentation of the goods is also an underwriting factor. So these are the things we consider when we are looking into, we want to effect cover for goods in transit. I hope we can all relate with that. Now let's look at exclusion. What exclusions, just like have explained to us, are what are not covered. Loss or damage from vehicle left unattended to overnight is not covered. If if there's a loss and we realize that there was challenge attitude, you know that you have not been to your destination and you just park your vehicle maybe on the highway, nobody is looking at it, no security, nothing, just left it unattended to. I mean, that is intentional loss. And I've told us severally in this class that insurance don't cover intentional loss. Insurance only cover unintentional loss, fortuitous loss. So when your loss or damage is due to you left your vehicle unattended to, there is no form of security, no form of no protection, that you have put in place for your goods, and I mean maybe you left it and the good just was not taken. I mean, insurance will not cover it. Now, highly inflammable products. Now your product is highly inflammable, maybe like fuel, petroleum and products. The goods in transit insurance don't cover it because the risk is just too high. Then the fragile products, maybe glass, that before you move it from here to that, goods in transit will not cover it. Except the glass that is really packaged, that is not that just let it be that before you move from here to here, the whole thing is broken. Then your livestock products. Good insurance does not cover livestock products. If you want to cover a livestock, there is an agricultural insurance. In Nigeria, few companies do agricultural insurance, but there is agricultural insurance that can cover livestock products. So good in transit insurance doesn't cover livestock products. Maybe your birds, your chicken, your animal, good in transit don't cover it when you are moving them from one place to another. And this dishonesty of your driver. Last week I told us what we discussed last week was fidelity insurance. That is the insurance that speaks to the dishonesty of your employee. So your driver is your employee. So when your driver connives that, as we are making this journey, we are doing that this thing will be stolen and all that. If the investigation revealed that it was connivance, it was due to the dishonesty of your employee or your driver, goods in transit insurance will not cover it. It will still fall under the jurisdiction of your fidelity guarantee insurance. So that is all I have for us today. Do we have any question? Thank you very much for listening. Because of my time, we have 10 minutes more. So I want to leave out this time for questions. What I've discussed today, we have discussed another form of business insurance, which is goods in transit insurance. And I told us that that's actually the genesis of insurance. When people bringing in goods from one place to another on the heights, they realize that how do we cover the loss of goods being stolen or being destroyed in the course of transit? So that is what we mean by goods in transit. Goods in transit insurance, that is the loss that occur when you are moving your goods from one place to another. That goods in transit insurance is what speaks to that. Mr. Peter Adebola, can you unmute and ask your question, sir?
Okay. Good evening, madam.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening,
I
sir.
have two questions which I want to seek clarification on.
Okay, sir.
The first one is that you said that good in transit does not cover agricultural products.
Yes.
Now, when we are talking about agricultural products, we have so many agricultural products ranging from crops to animal products. Now, are you saying that if I want to transport, assuming I'm a produce buyer, I went to Ondo State to go and buy cocoa, and it's to be transported to Lagos for export, and I want to ensure my good in transit. So using cocoa as an example, are you saying that good in transit will not cover my cocoa because it's an agricultural product? I need that clarification.
Okay.
That's number one.
Okay,
Then the
sir.
second question is this. You said if it is discovered that maybe the driver is the one that colluded with other people that made the calamity or whatever to happen on the road. Now, if this is done without my knowledge, and I've already bought into this insurance policy called good in transit, and such a thing happened on the road without my knowledge, I assume that is going to be unintentional loss. So why should my policy not cover such a situation? Please clarify.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, Mr. Peter, for asking those two questions. I really appreciate it, sir. Yes, the first one, if it is cocoa, when I just say everything that what was in my mind when I was saying agricultural product, I was actually, if you look at my slide, I said livestock. Actually, what was in my mind when I was saying exclusion, livestock, that I now say, okay, agricultural product. That I even mentioned maybe your birds, your animal. So that's actually what is in my mind when I say livestock products, agricultural products. But like cocoa is a handy product that you can carry, that you can package very well and load it up. Your cocoa, your wood, all this timber, they are still agricultural products. But those ones the good in transit will cover it. Actually, what was in my mind when I was saying livestock product, agricultural product, if you look at my slide, I've gone back to it. It was livestock product I put, and I just now generalize it. Well, thank you for asking that question, for the clarification. Goods, when it is not livestock, when it is not animal you are transporting from one place to another. So I believe I've been able to clarify that, sir. What I mean is the livestock products, maybe your animal, your fowls, and all that. That's what good in transit does not cover. Not things like timber, cocoa, and all that. Then the second one, that when it is when investigation reveal that it is your driver, that could lie. But if the investigation did not reveal that the loss has occurred, your good in transit will cover it. But if the investigation reveals that it's as a result of your employee that's connived and all that, that was why I said, when I said your good in transit will not cover it, I didn't say insurance will not pay the loss, but it will be that your fidelity bond insurance that will speak to it. All this business insurance, if you look at it, if you are in business, when you are in business, it's not just one form of insurance you take. You take your insurance according to the level of risk you are exposed to. It's depending on your level of risk exposure. That is why you need your broker, you need your consultant to help you package your business insurance. So it will speak to every aspect of your business, every risk you are exposed to in business. I hope you can relate with that, sir. I hope I've been able to answer your question, sir. Mr. Peter.
Okay. Yes, I still have another issue.
Okay, sir.
On this issue of livestock.
Okay, sir.
Livestock by definition means live animals like goats, like cattle, like all of them are livestock. Now, if you are now saying that good in transit is not going to cover it, okay, and that is my own main business. I go to Kano, go and buy cow and go and slaughter it in the slaughter's lab in Lagos. I package it and I sell it to different eateries. So are you saying because livestock is, I mean, if I go and buy cow from Kano, I cannot insure it? Is that what we are saying?
I've said we insure it under agricultural insurance. Not that there's no cover for it at all, but you not put it under goods in transit. You insure it under agricultural insurance. Have I been able to answer you, sir?
Okay. Anyway, maybe one day you are still going to give us training on agricultural, because for me, I think agricultural insurance policy only cover those ones in the farm and not outside the farm gate. Once goods is outside the farm gate, I don't know whether that agricultural insurance also cover that. But
the livestock will be under agriculture, sir.
Let us leave it there.
Okay, thank you, sir. Often, may I kindly unmute and ask a question? Okay, thank you. Go ahead, please.
Okay, the question I want to ask is actually what Mr. Debola asked.
Sorry?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay, the question I want to ask is there any particular reason why the livestock are not covered in insurance? Is it a matter of policy or what?
Your line is not clear. Please say it again.
The question is there any particular reason why livestock are not covered in this particular insurance?
Okay. Thank you very much.
Is there any reason why? Why is it not?
Okay, thank you. Yes, just like I said, you know, these are standard exclusion under goods in transit. It is not structured. Livestock is not structured under goods in transit because it's under agricultural insurance, because you know it's a special form of insurance. The livestock, no, it's the I don't know how to explain it now, but it is just that it is an exclusion under goods in transit. You know, these things are what has been unanimously agreed. The underwriting consideration, professionally, it has been agreed that livestock is not covered under goods in transit because let's say, for example, like chicken. You know, chicken, if you pack them together, if you are subjected to too much heat, before you know it, the mortality rate will just be there and they just die. So just like I told us that, you know, when you know that there is insurance will not cover a known something that you can predict that, oh, this thing will definitely happen. It is what you are not expecting the insurance cover. So it is not put, livestock is not put under goods in transit, because goods in transit, you have to travel from one place to another. So it is not covered under goods in transit, but it is arranged on a special insurance, which we call agricultural insurance. It is under agricultural insurance, not under goods in transit. Have I been able to answer you, madam? Madam Ofani, have I been able to answer you? Okay. Do I have another person having question? I need the rest. Yes. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Another question I would like to ask.
Okay.
Is the respect of when you say the driver or the staff or whatever. I am a business person.
Okay.
And I'm selling my goods from one place to the other. There are so many reasons what can affect the goods. And I'm taking an insurance to cover those things. Assuming that I employed an external driver, it might not be the company driver, someone I don't know, there's tendency that anything can happen. Could be accident that goods are destroyed. It could be that the driver just made away with the goods. So it is the loss that I am insuring. So I don't understand the aspect that if it has to be that it was connived, because actually that connive is part of the thing that I covered in the insurance. That was why I now took the insurance policy to secure my goods. So when the insurance would now be telling me that it cannot be paid because of this, because of that, sometimes I may not need to travel with goods. I'll send the goods, whatever the driver may do on the road, maybe the vehicle got spoiled or he parked the vehicle carelessly, like you mentioned. All these things are the things I look at before I say anything can happen to my business. Let me insure it. So at the end of the day, insurance will tell me that those things are not going to be uh, indemnified because of this or that. I don't quite get it.
I didn't really understand your question because your line is fainting. But I think what I can deduce from your question, is that you are not clear about my exclusions. When I talked about the exclusion, maybe the dishonesty of the driver. That's why I'm taking this subject one after the other. I told us that the dishonesty of the driver, if it is revealed that the loss occurred as a result of the dishonesty of the driver, the insurance that will speak to it is fidelity insurance. Insurance is very vast. And that is what I said in the course of my presentation. I said, when you are into a business, you have different forms of insurance policy you pick. Risk exposure you are exposed to, due to the level of risk you are exposed to. So it is not that it will not be covered, but there is a particular insurance that covers particular risk. And from every insurance, when you do insurance, there are always, that's why when I'm picking up a product, I talk about what is covered and I talk about what is not covered. What is not covered is the exclusion. So please, I want you to understand it on that note. There are what is covered and what is not covered. Whatever is not covered in a particular insurance, you have it covered in another form of insurance. That is why this program is very, very vital to give us in-depth understanding of what insurance is. That is not covered in a particular one, it is covered in another policy. So you only need to know the risk you are exposed to and the insurance cover that will speak to it. I hope I've been able to answer your question, madam. Thank you very much. I've actually received signal that our time is up. Just like I always told us, I always want to end this program. I don't always want it to go off. So I really appreciate everyone that have attended this meeting this evening. And those of us that have asked questions, I really appreciate you. Those of you watching me on Facebook Live, I really appreciate you. And those that will still watch it after I've uploaded it in my YouTube channel, I want to appreciate everyone. Thank you so much for attending this meeting. And let's meet again next week. Same time on Wednesday between 5:30 and 6 p.m. Thank you, everyone. I really appreciate you. You have a wonderful evening.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Did you ask any question? Or you want to ask question? Online fair collection. Thank you for joining me for the first time. Sam and Joy, Madam Iwanda Adeleke. Thank you everyone that has joined me for this meeting. And those of you on Facebook, I really want to say thank you. Do have a wonderful evening, everyone. Thank you. Bye-bye. See you next week.